Hello Safari fans and welcome to episode 2 of Between Two Tubes. And I'm starting to think that filming episode 1 and 2 of Between Two Tubes on the same night was a bit of a mistake perhaps. I started off drinking 60% whiskey, followed by 3 cans or 3 bottles of energy drink. At Safari we enjoy the odd drink. Today I'm going to be trying a wine. It's just a sort of normal table wine, nothing too exciting. We're not going to get too far into pretentious wine tasting, although that'll come later I'm sure. So what are we going to have today? It is a South African wine. It's a Chenin Blanc from, where's it from? The Western Cape. Oh, got a little visitor here. As you can see, we've been joined by Solvent the Cat from Solvent TV. She's going to be helping me try this today. Right? Maybe not. I'm quite a big fan of South African wines. Any New World wines tend to be, although it's slightly changing a bit now again, you can pretty much get New World decent wines at the same price as you can get sort of old French good wines. No, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Two Oceans Chenin Blanc. This one is from the Western Cape. It is, let's see what it says, it's 2014 vintage, so that's at least 3 months old. The idea of the Two Oceans thing, I believe, is just where Table Mountain is in the Cape of South Africa, the Indian and the Atlantic Ocean mixed together. If you stand on Table Mountain you can see the colours of the two oceans meeting almost in a line. It says here, along the southern coast of South Africa, two great oceans meet, creating the unique climate of the Western Cape. It's got a Two Oceans watermark on it there, so we're talking quality again. New World wines tend to be, you can get a better quality wine for a little bit less than you would of a traditional Old World wine. We bought this in the supermarket. It should have been $9.99 a bottle apparently, and it was reduced to $5.99. Whether you believe that or not is up to you, but we'll see how it goes. It says here it's a versatile fruity wine reflecting, in fact I'm going to pour first. You're a bit too young to drink, I think so. Let's get this opened. Screw cap, sign of quality. I want that you sniff actually. That'll do for first tasting. So I actually tried this wine not last night, the night before, and for the price it's a pretty decent one. I like Chenins, they're more of a sort of Saturday, Sunday afternoon sort of wine if you're going to have a wine about then. They've usually got sort of slightly floral aromas, but don't let that put you off. I'm usually a Sauvignon man, but they go exceptionally well with our shakalaka chicken wraps on a Saturday afternoon. This is Sunday afternoon, so we'll see what happens. I tried this the other night, had a couple of glasses of it, and it was, what I find with a lot of wines that aren't expensive is you have a couple of glasses, they start tasting okay sometimes they taste terrible depending on where you go. They taste okay for a couple of glasses and then you just get a little bit sick of it. Personally I think it's the additives in them. This one, of course, you don't get ingredients on wine, they've usually always got sulfites. I'll check that for you now. Yeah, it contains sulfites. Now, an interesting thing about me with alcohol is I got my eyes lasered maybe coming up to 10 years ago, something like that, and kind of fell out with a surgeon before he did the operation. Nice South African man. And he decided to do a different operation on this eye the second time he had to do it because he messed up the first one. Ever since then, if I have alcohols with a lot of sulfites or preservatives in them, the next morning, don't necessarily wake up with a hangover, but that eye goes quite dry, so I can always tell. That's so, if you've had laser surgery, botched laser surgery, then yeah, keep an eye out for your eyes. It's a good way to test wines. Wine testing with your eyes, nobody else does that. It's very exclusive, man, you can't get better than that. For some reason, when I was drinking this, after a couple of glasses, I just got a sense of egg to it. Now I know that there is some egg in wines, and this doesn't say it does. Although I wonder how that's going to work with the new laws on labelling and things. But yeah, I just got a weird eggy sense. I don't eat a lot of dairy products, I certainly don't eat a lot of eggs, so when they're about I kind of get a little bit of a sense of it. Not to say that I'm intolerant of any foods. So my first tasting of this wine is, considering it's supposed to be a tenner a bottle, that's we shouldn't be getting rubbish for that. It tasted not bad. It was actually quite pleasant. The floral sort of fragrances on the top end were not overpowering. I seem to remember it had a sort of a light sort of gooseberry sort of taste to it, a nice fruity sharpness, which is, some Chenins can be quite, they're not sweet wine, they're yeah, it wasn't too sharp that you can find with a lot of cheaper wines, so let's give it a go. I'm not going to go through, well, I just did it, I'm not going to go through the old swish, release the aromas, but I'll have a little sniff anyway. I'll put it in a wine glass for a change, which is quite unusual for me. So let's try this first before we read too much into the bottle. I'll have a wee sniff first. Nothing standing out. There's that slight sort of perfumey sort of thing you can expect from a Chenin. More of a fragrance. Perfumey doesn't sound too nice to me, or fragrant, but it's certainly got some little hint of something. That's very descriptive, isn't it? Yeah. Let's give it a go. So yeah, I'm getting that sort of very sort of almost sharp gooseberry, sort of unripened gooseberry sort of smell. It's a taste. It is there, and it's quite distinct, quite a nice flavour though. It's not too sharp. I'm quite a fan of sort of dry wines. Considering this isn't bone dry, it's certainly got enough of the dryness for it with me. Again, it's not really, I wouldn't call it a sophisticated wine. It's not like a good quality Sauvignon or Chablis, something like that. It's more of an everyday drinking wine. I just checked the timestamp on our camera and it says it's 7:31 AM, but I'm sure that's got to be wrong. We're filming in the afternoon sunshine again. That didn't work out too well last time. It seemed to super explode everything, so if I'm sitting in a strange rainbow room for some reason, you'll know why. Yeah, second taste, it sort of hits you down the side of the tongue with almost a sort of a hint of sourness, which I'm a fan of personally, but not everybody would be. This has been open since it's been open about 2 days, kept in the fridge with the lid on. It certainly doesn't, it seems to have lost a bit of the quality that it had on the first night when I tried it, but we'll plough on. Third taste, it seems to be getting just a little hint softer. That could be my tongue going, so let's see what we should be tasting here. So it's a versatile fruity wine, yeah, I would agree with that, reflecting a delicious array of honeyed fruit, possibly pear. I'm going to look for a bit of pear here. This is what we do. There could be a bit of pear in there, and guava can be enjoyed on its own, as we have here, or with salads, pasta or white meat dishes. I might have a pasta or a white meat dish later on this evening, so hopefully it'll go well with that as well, if it's not done before that. So their description's reasonably accurate, I would say. It's quite unusual that you can get that sort of stuff. I mean, you wouldn't taste it certainly on first tastings. That's just what we tend to do on Between Two Tubes, is have a little sip, see what we can taste of whatever it is that we're trying out first, and then we see the blurb on the back of the bottle and see what we're supposed to be tasting. It's kind of hit or miss. Some people get it reasonably well done. Certainly I don't taste the things that they're saying are in there until you go hunting. You may think it's a bit psychosomatic doing that sort of stuff, but there are bottles that I've gone to looking for what they describe and just cannot find them, so I don't know. It's a little bit of fun if you're bored on a Sunday afternoon. So it comes in a stylish 750ml bottle. The label, I've tried this wine before and I seem to remember their label was a little bit more basic, but design wise it was kind of a standard wine bottle that didn't bother you. To me that looks a little bit cheap. It looked a bit cheap sitting on the shelf. The only reason I bought it was because it was supposed to be reasonably expensive at 10 quid a bottle, and I'd tried it before, so I thought I'd give it another go. So I think they've taken a bit of a step back in terms of design, especially with this ridiculous Two Oceans watermark printed on their label. Maybe I should add a watermark to my videos, I don't know. I would say it's pretty much worth, especially with my recollections when I first opened it, it's pretty much worth about 6 quid a bottle, maybe 5-6 quid, but I wouldn't pay more than that. I certainly wouldn't pay £10 for it. But yeah, a nice afternoon drinking everyday wine. But if I had to give it a mark out of 10, I'd probably go 6, which is, yeah, it's a tolerable wine. It's a drinkable wine. It's nothing special, but nice enough. There you go, Two Oceans Chenin. Get some if you want some.